Welcome back to the Dloading podcast, everybody. Episode 5 here with my good friend Xavier Guillory. Xavier, how you doing today, man?
Good, man. I'm good.
Well, thanks for coming on, guys. I've known Xavier for a long time. Grew up in the same hometown. He went to Lewis and Clark High School with some of my better friends. Plays wide receiver currently at Idaho State University in Pocatello, correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
So yeah, he's had a great year, guys. This is his second year, transferred in from the Air Force. So let's get right into it. X. Growing up, everybody's got a player that they love watching. Who was your favorite player growing up, and why?
Well, personally, for me, it was my dad. Watching him, his college highlights. He really inspired me to come want to play football, and taught me everything I pretty much know. And but if we're talking NFL wise, definitely Cooper Cup is my guy to watch, just because I grew up watching him at Eastern. He was he made me want to play receiver. He was a great player, and so watching him, uh, he's definitely my favorite NFL player as of right now. But probably them two, my dad and Cooper Cup.
Oh wow, that's a pretty good list right there. 39 catches, guys, 588 yards, and 5 touchdowns for Xavier here for Idaho State. So let's talk about the adjustment. There's always a big adjustment from the high school level to college. What was the biggest adjustment when you got on a college campus playing college football?
Well, it's a lot. It's a lot more serious, I guess. It's a lot more expectation out of you. When you go from high school to college, it's much more of a business standpoint from the coaches, and so I mean these coaches' jobs rely on your playmaking ability. So it's a lot. It's a lot different from high school to where your coach is your English teacher, but these coaches are professionals. Like this is what they do, and so it's a lot more serious, and it's hard on the body just waking up early in the mornings, 3 to 4 workouts a day, and so it's a lot more intense. But if you really love something, you'll do it without any questions. So I'll just say it's a lot more professional from high school, and you have to take it a lot more serious and from your nutrition, sleep, and working out, because everybody's good at the Division I level, and so um, you have to kind of learn how to separate yourself from everybody else.
Absolutely. Seems like you got to have a pretty tough mental toughness for sure playing at
Yeah, you
the
do
Division 1 level.
for sure.
That can honestly make the difference between sometimes Division 1, Division 2 players. So, I mean,
Yeah, it's different, man. Just with these coaches, even last year, like you just see like if you have a good game, man, they love you, and if you have a bad game, they they can't stand you, bro. And it's just like it just depends your playmaking ability and how much they like you is depending on how many plays you make for them and stuff. So you have to be really mentally tough in this game, especially football, just because it's so cutthroat. And you have to be you just can't you have to focus on the love of the game, and because if you don't have that, and I see a lot of people transferring quick just because they can't handle it and stuff. So yeah, it's a big difference just because how professional it is at the Division I level.
right, for sure. So, walk me through real quick. Winter, fall 2019 ish, you decided to transfer. What made you choose Idaho State to go play there?
So when I was at Air Force, before I had committed, I knew I was going to go to the academy, which gives you an option to go with your first year. You can go there, and if you want to leave during that year, you can leave without affecting your eligibility. So I knew that going in. So I tried. I tried it. I did the best I could. It was hard, man. The military and the school, like we're taking classes like I've never even heard of before, and it was really hard at that school, and so I knew that it wasn't for me just because I was losing. I couldn't like focus on football as much just because the rigors of the school was academics was so hard, and the military life I couldn't. I just couldn't see myself having a future in it, so I decided to leave and So I hit up all my old coaches that offered me out of high school on Twitter, and Idaho State was the first one to pull the trigger and just offer me a scholarship. Said I'd start right away, and so I just kind of said, "Cool, I'm coming." And I wanted to get out of Air Force so bad. I left there and I took the offer, and then 2 months later I was here. So I've been here since.
Oh wow, that's definitely awesome.
Yeah.
So let's go a little bit back into your young life.
Hmm.
You know, everyone's got someone they look up to. You know, family member, whatever. Who did you look up to? You know, growing up,
Yeah.
just like on a life to life basis, not even football
Yeah.
wise.
It was definitely my dad, just because how he carried himself, and I was his only son, and so me and him spent a lot of time together through sports, not even just sports, just life in general. So, um, my dad was a professor, a pastor, a coach. He was everything. He was a big part of the community. I'm sure you've seen him at a lot of my games and stuff, how close we were together. And no, he was definitely he was my biggest male role model. Um, and yeah, I just looked up to him. Him and my mom. My mom, of course, I can't forget about her. And she's, um, uh, they both been a huge part of my life. But as for a male figure, it was definitely was my dad, and he's made me who I am today. Really, just how I carry myself and how I think, and my beliefs and all that. Definitely was inspired by him.
Right. I want to say something about your dad, guys. Xavier's dad was a big part of the Spokane community. I didn't get to know him super well, but like X said, you know, he was pastor at his local church, was a great professor at Eastern, and was a heck of a football player at Eastern, correct?
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, he made a huge impact in the Spokane community, and he was deeply loved for sure. So
Mm.
definitely you know, a great role model you had in your life, and he was very proud of you, that's for sure.
Yes, sir.
So let's just talk about, you know, I'm sure you're watching games on Sundays after a big game, you know, the NFL and kind of stuff like that. Right now, you know, everyone's got a different opinion, but who do you think the best receiver is in the league? Like, who you picking if you got to start a team right now at wide receiver?
Well, right now, man, it's clear, man. He was the triple crown king. It's Cooper Cup, man. He would, you know, he led the league in receiving yards, catches, and touchdowns, and um, he was a FCS guy. Went to Eastern, smaller school. Um, came from Yakima, out of all places. No offers. He had the one offer from Eastern, and so his journey to where he is now is just insane. It's almost unheard of. And for him to win the Triple Crown, win the Super Bowl MVP, first team All Pro, Pro Bowler, he was, yeah, definitely Cooper Cup as of right now is the best receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I would have to disagree with you, but I definitely agree that it's Cooper Cup. I
Yeah,
mean, 145 receptions,
yeah.
on nearly 2,000 yards and 16 touchdowns in the regular season is just unheard of
Yeah,
numbers.
those are video game numbers, and it's crazy. He was doing the same stuff in college, so for him to translate that into the NFL against the best of the best is insane. And so he's definitely somebody I look up to and try to reflect my game after.
Yeah, I remember seeing him at Eastern when they played Oregon back in
Hmm.
Autzen. Shoot, this is probably like 6, 7 years ago or something
Yeah,
like
about
that. It's been a
2016.
while.
That was
Yeah, so like I think he had like at least like damn near 200, 250
yeah,
yards
he had over 200,
rushing.
man. Yeah, he went crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. But I mean, like you said, 8 receptions, 92 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. He's been so good of late. You know, he's very fun to watch, and it's cool that he's from the Pacific Northwest like we are.
Yeah.
So what do you? I know you've been seeing the offseason stuff in the NFL. What are your thoughts on all these receivers? You know, it finally feels like they're starting to get paid more. I mean, compared to years in the past, you know, people saying that you don't, you know, need a great receiver to win Super Bowls, but now more than ever, you really need them. It feels like it's a weapons league. So, what are your thoughts on like all these contracts, seeing Devontae Adams get paid and all these guys getting paid?
Well, the reason why they're getting paid so much is because the game is changing. Early 2000s and in the 90s, it was mostly a run heavy game, and you needed a good lineman, you needed a good quarterback and a running back. But now today it's everybody. everybody can run routes. Everybody needs a receiver to go downfield, and you see the damage that Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill had on the league. Just those deep, big plays, explosive plays that receivers can make, and it's the game's changing to where it's a passing game now, almost like the 7-on-7 league. It's kind of taking over the NFL and stuff. So that's why you're seeing these receivers get such fat contracts, and so that's why you're seeing a lot of players want to play receiver now. Is just because like how big a part of the game they are. And I've even noticed here whenever we have a bad practice as a team or something as an offense, it's because the receivers had a bad practice. And so receivers control a lot of what the how the flow of the offense is going. And so we're the playmakers on the team. We're the ones that go down the field, make big catches, and that's why you're seeing so many of these players like Devontae Adams sign $40 million contracts and stuff because they need playmakers down the field. And it's exciting for me just because I want to get to that level, and that's why I'm working on my craft to hopefully sign a contract like that someday. And but it's definitely good news to hear that football's going to a passing game for sure.
Right. I mean, even quarterbacks, I feel like nowadays are just at younger ages getting a lot better. Do you think that's because of, whether it's training with these 7-on-7 tournaments? I mean, do you think that's because, we're having these more skill
Yeah.
related camps going on across the country?
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous now, man. You're seeing little 8-year-olds being able to do drills that I just learned to do as a 19, 20-year-old. And so it's like 10 years from now, you're gonna like the athletic ability of these kids are gonna be insane. And so you're seeing in high school now, just like everybody's getting more athletic, and the game is evolving to something crazy. And it is definitely because the 7-on-7 social media has had a big impact on it too. Just being able to watch these receivers play and just kind of emulating their game after them. And so you're definitely going to see a big jump from um, what receivers used to be and to where they are going to be in the future. Everybody's going to be fast. The new standard is going to be like everybody has to run a 4.3 and a 4.4 in the 40-yard dash. And you're starting to see it this year in the combine. They had a record-breaking number of receivers running in the 4.2s and 4.3s. So speed is the name of the game now, and just everybody has to be able to run routes and be fast and stuff. So you're going to see a big change in football, and you might see teams paying running backs less because everybody's going to want to be a receiver or a quarterback now.
Right, for sure. So let me get into this real quick. So why did you choose to be a receiver? Like, what made you want to play that position instead of running back or whatever, cornerback
Yeah,
or
I
whatever?
originally started at running back, but then I grew taller, and I always knew I could play receiver, but I didn't start playing receiver till I got to high school, and so I just decided to do it one year, and I was good at it, so I just kind of rode with it, and I knew I could eventually make it to college and the pros and stuff. So it's definitely been a good journey so far, and I proved it um, time in and time out. Um, Against the best. In high school, I did this FSP 7-on-7 and just competed against guys who are in the NFL now. And so I just wanted to see how good I could be, and it's been paying off and stuff. And so even here, I've been doing well for myself, and I'm gonna go into my sophomore season with a lot of expectation. And so um, I'm glad I picked receivers just because I've gotten really good at it, and just want to see how far I can go with it.
Right. I just think it's amazing how, a lot of times in high school football, you really kind of switch around positions and, basketball, comparing it to basketball, it's like, you're a post, that
Yeah.
you're a point guard or whatever. So I just think that's kind of cool to kind of see all
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. So let me ask you another question on the NFL right now. I feel like the league has been honestly the best it's ever been right now with like
Mhm.
views and just the excitement. I mean, so many good playoff games, so many good regular season games. If you had one player you would start a team with right now in the NFL, who would it be and why? Like, who are you taking number one?
Man, that's tough. Well, you have to go with the quarterback, and I'd say the best in the game right now in terms of young is Patrick Mahomes. He's really kind of evolutionized the quarterback position, being able to throw off balance, and some of the throws that he makes is ridiculous, and the arm strength and the speed. So, as of right now, I'd probably start a franchise with Patrick Mahomes for sure. And yeah, that he's definitely the future of what the quarterback position will look like.
Yeah, I would definitely go with Patrick Mahomes for
Mhm.
sure. And, uh, I would probably Patrick, I mean, Justin Herbert, excuse me,
Justin
probably
Herbert,
closer.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's been really good. I've been very impressed with him at in LA. But yeah,
yeah,
Patrick Mahomes, I feel like the AFC kind of runs through Kansas City,
mhm,
and he got set up really well with Andy Reid, who's a good
yeah,
coach, and I feel like it's just a good like system, which I think is super underrated. Like
mhm,
you gotta sometimes the higher quarterbacks that get taken go into tougher situations. Like
yeah,
look at Zach Wilson, look at Trevor Lawrence. Like those guys
yeah,
are in some rebuilds for sure. So
yeah,
I mean, Patrick Mahomes, sliding down to like whatever pick he was, 10 or 11, whatever it was,
mhm,
but that kind of helped him. And Justin Herbert with a, fun team, and he's got really good weapons like Mike Williams,
yeah,
Keenan Allen, all those good guys. So it should
mhm,
be fun to watch them for sure.
yeah, man. It's just that quarterback, big arm, and yeah, those guys for sure fit that mold.
Right, for sure. So let's get back to you, man. What have you been working on this off season? What's one thing you want to improve on that you really want to make a mark on in this 2022-2023 season?
So what I knew right after the season, I wanted to get faster, and so at the end of the last season, I was about 220 pounds, and so I've lost about 20 to 22 pounds. I'm sitting around about like 198 right now, and I really just wanted to lose that weight just to get faster, and it's really helped me so far in spring ball and spring camp. I've noticed it. I'm quicker on my feet. I'm able to get past defenders easier, and it's helped me a lot. So that nutrition, I had to just dial in on that and just focus on what I'm putting inside my body, and it's really helped elevate my game and in terms of speed and strength and explosion. And so I'm just gonna keep going on this journey of good nutrition and just see how far it can take me. And so I'm off to a great start right now, and it's really helped me elevate my game for sure.
Right, guys. Yet again, guys, this is episode 5 of the Deloading podcast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on my YouTube. I'm going to be uploading every Friday, 3 o'clock Eastern. Xavier Guillory with me. X, one more question for you, bruh.
Yes, sir.
I know a lot of people, aren't playing two sports anymore in high school.
Mhm.
I sure didn't, but I mean, I know a lot of kids right now are just kind of sticking with their one sport, but you were different. You played high school basketball all 4 years of your life. Do you still see that, you learned some things from playing on the basketball court? And did you get anything out of that you feel like on the football field playing basketball as well?
Oh, for sure, man. Like also, you got to throw in track in there too. Like I will never agree with players just picking one sport in high school, especially in high school when you have the opportunity to play multi sports, and especially for kids that want to go to college. Unless you're like a bona fide 5 star and you know you're going to go to Georgia or Alabama, you need to be playing other sports. Basketballs for sure, basketball and tracks for sure help elevate my game. It's helped me translate basketball definitely translate to football, and track speed definitely translate to football as well. So I don't like when I see high school athletes just pick one sport because then they get so fixated on it. Unless you're a basketball player who's a 5 star and you know you're going to be great in college, but if you're one of those just in the mix kids, you definitely need to be in multi-sport athlete, and it's much more than just the physical part. It's like building memories and stuff that you can't get anywhere else. So definitely, I'm a like when I have kids or something like that, I'm definitely gonna have them play multiple sports, and it makes you a better athlete all around for sure.
Right, yeah, I think that's important. This guy was a track star in middle school, everybody. I'm telling you that. I'm remembering that just now. But yet again, Xavier Guillory with us here. The 2022 season is going to be here soon.
Sorry.
Xavier, we're going to be looking for you at Idaho State. Thanks again for coming on. Really appreciate your time, man.
Appreciate it, man. Yes,
All right, everybody. I'll be having another episode next Friday, 3 o'clock Eastern. Stay tuned. Thanks again, X.
Yes, sir. I'll see you, man.